Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Title I of this gun control bill would raise the age to purchase a firearm from an FFL from 18 to 21 if it's basically a modern rifle or a modern shotgun. The problem with this is the Constitution covers individuals beginning at the age of 18, not at the age of 21, and so does the Second Amendment quite clearly. But the insult to injury comes when we tell these 18, 19, and 20-year-olds that they can die for their country, that they can sign up, they can use a firearm, they can be shot at, and they can give their lives for their country to protect the freedoms and to protect the Constitution, yet they themselves will not be able to enjoy the rights protected under that Constitution. So what my amendment seeks to do, right now, the Title I of the bill, does the chairman have a, okay. Title I of the bill would raise the age, but it has an exception right now that the Democrats have put in here for a member of the armed forces on active duty. My amendment adds to the people that are accepted from this age restriction any individual who has registered for selective service. In other words, if your country endeavors to conscript you into the service of that country, possibly to die for that country, to defend that country's Constitution, then you deserve the rights that are protected by that Constitution. And with that, I yield back.
Mr. Chairman,
Gentleman yields back. Does the gentlelady insist on her point of order? The gentlelady does not insist on her point of order. I'll recognize myself in opposition to the amendment. This amendment guts this provision of the bill because it says that an individual is registered for selective service. Since every individual 18 years of age or over is required to register for every male individual is required to register for selective service. This would permit any male individual at 18 years of age to purchase a firearm. The purpose of this section of the bill is precisely to prevent people 18 years of age through 20 until 21 to purchase firearms, because there is a massive body of research that shows that 18 through 20-year-olds, having not completed the maturation of parts of their brains, are far more likely to engage in violence than people older than that. So on that grounds, I oppose the amendment.
Mr. Chairman.
And I yield back. Who else seeks recognition?
Mr. Chairman.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Ohio seek recognition?
Strike the last word.
Gentleman is recognized.
You just said that they're not mature enough to make this kind of decision. But if I'm not mistaken, the Democrats are wanting younger people to actually vote. Want 16-year-olds to decide who gets to make the laws in this country. But oh no, 18-year-olds can't purchase a firearm. And now we're saying that if you sign up for selective service, and as Mr. Massey indicated, will go defend your country, you're not qualified for the rights in that very Constitution. You're going to take an oath if you join our military to defend. So this is just another good amendment from the gentleman from Kentucky, and I would yield to him to talk.
Yield for a moment.
Sure.
Is the gentleman aware that until you're 21, you can't even go into a bar and and get a shot of bourbon?
I'm certainly aware of that.
Okay.
In Kentucky, we would make an exception for that as well.
And when I went to college, probably when you went to college, Mr. Chairman, those weren't the rules, but they've since changed. I understand that. I yield to the gentleman from Kentucky.
The chairman says that individuals 18 to 20-year-old maturation of use his words, maturation of parts of their brains hasn't occurred. Then why do we allow them to make the decision to go fight for their country, to join the military? Furthermore, are we conscripting people who don't even have mature brains into the service of this country? That's why, I'm sorry, somebody needs to mute.
Someone needs to mute the microphone.
So that's why I tied this to selective service. And it's also not the case that everybody who is 18 is registered with selective service. Law-abiding individuals who are 18 have registered with the selective service. And it's probably the case, even though I don't know this for sure, it's probably the case that somebody without a father, somebody with mental issues, somebody that hasn't been in school for the last 2 years, who has committed one of these heinous acts, is probably not registered with the Selective Service. And I yield back to the gentleman from Ohio.